Good afternoon, Mr. Sloan. Good afternoon. I want to show you, and I'm showing you what's marked as Government Exhibit 526. Do you see Government Exhibit 526 in front of you? I do. Do you recognize the person depicted in Government Exhibit 526? Yeah, I do. I'm going to show you a couple of more pictures also. Right now I'm showing you Government Exhibit 5281, 5282, and 5283. Do you recognize the person depicted in Government Exhibit 5281 through 3? I do. Let's come back to Government Exhibit 526. Who is the person depicted in Government Exhibit 526? Muwap. Do you know Muwap's real name? Marcus. Do you know his last name? No. How about Government Exhibit 5281, 2, and 3? Same person. Who is the person you understand to be Marcus, aka Muwap, to you? Let me actually ask you the question in a different way. Is Muwap or Marcus the person depicted in Government Exhibit 526, 5281, 5282, and 5283? Is that person a member of O Block? Yes. Have you seen that person in Parkway Gardens? Yeah. When would you say is the earliest you saw that person in Parkway Gardens? Years ago, around the time I seen all of them. So, 11, 12, 13? Yeah. Have you ever had a conversation with Muwap? Yeah. Your Honor, at this time, I move to admit Government Exhibits 526, 5281, 5282, and 5283 into evidence. They're admitted. Permission to publish? Yes. This is Government Exhibit 526, 5281, 5282, and 5283. Mr. Sloan, do you see the person who you understand to be Muwap or Marcus in the courtroom? Yeah. Could you please tell me where they're sitting in the courtroom and describe an article of clothing that they're wearing? White button-up, glasses, in the front row. Which row? The second row. On which? The left side. So, the side closest to the judge or the side closest to the door? The door. And what color button-up did you say? White. Okay. And the record will reflect that Mr. Sloan identified Marcus Smart at this time, Your Honor. I want to read a quick stipulation, and it's stipulation number 22. Okay. Davon Bennett, also known as King Von, died on November 6, 2020, and this stipulation is signed by all of the parties. Maybe unpublished? Yes. I'm showing you what's marked as Government Exhibits 536 and 537. Do you recognize the person depicted in Government Exhibits 536 and 37? Yeah. Who do you recognize that person to be? King Von. Do you know his real name? Davon. Do you know his last name? Bennett. Is Davon Bennett, aka King Von, a member of O Block? Yeah. Did you know him personally? Yeah. Have you ever spoken to him? Yeah. Have you ever seen him inside of Parkway Gardens? Yeah. When King Von was alive, was he someone with some rank inside of O Block? Yeah. Where would you say he was in the hierarchy? Top. I want to change gears a little bit and ask you some more questions about O Block. Are there a number of smaller groups within O Block? I'm sorry? Are there a number of smaller groups or little cliques within O Block? Yeah. What are they called? Jado Jump Out Boys, J-Mac Gang, Baby Bailouts. Have you ever heard of Stretch Gang and Baby Stretch Gang? Yeah. Are those some of the groups that are in O Block? Yeah. What are those about? What's the significance of those? What do you mean? So why are there these little subgroups? It's really like shit. Crowds. Like age range crowds. You say it's age range crowds? Yeah. So let me ask you some questions about stretch gang, for example. Is stretch gang something that's a crowd based on age? Yeah. And generally, what's the age of stretch gang? I believe like 27 and up, maybe 26, 27 and up, 28 and up. How about baby stretch gang? Is that a crowd based on age? Yeah. And what's the age range for baby stretch gang? Probably like 23, 24, 25. How about Jado Jump Out Boys? Is that JAYDO? Yes. What's the age range for Jado Jump Out Boys? About the same. Probably 22, 23. About the same. What about J Mac Gang? Yeah, about the same. Are all these groups, Stretch Gang, Baby Stretch Gang, Jado Jump Out Boys, J Mac, are they all a part of O Block? Yeah. Are you in one of those 4 groups? Yeah. Which one? Baby Stretch Gang. On a day-to-day basis, do those 4 groups operate independently of each other? I'm sorry? On a day-to-day basis, so like every day, do they operate independent of one another? Yeah. Do they come together to protect O Block? Yeah. Those meetings that we talked about a little bit earlier, based upon what you've seen and observed, are there members or representation from each of those 4 groups at meetings? Yeah. Is there leadership of O Block mostly in one of those 4 groups that we've been talking about? I'm sorry? Is the leadership the people at the top of the hierarchy? I'm going to object to the leading on all of these questions. Just ask the witness the question. I'll rephrase the question. Mr. Sloan, where, if at all, would you say that the leadership of O Block is comprised in relation to these 4 groups? Stretch Gang? You said Stretch Gang? Yeah. I want to change gears a little bit and ask you about the phrase clicked up. Have you heard the phrase, or are you familiar with the phrase being clicked up? Yeah. What does it mean, or can you tell the jury what it means for O Block to be clicked up with someone or something? It means I guess the way I can put it is you clicked up with like another hood or another set, like you all together. So another gang set? I'm sorry? Leading. You said another set. What did you mean by that? Another gang, another block. Since you've become a member of O Block, has O Block clicked up with any other blocks, groups, or sets? Yeah. Can you tell the jury a few of the groups that O Block has clicked up with as of 2020 and 2021? 600, Lamron. So I want to ask you some questions about those. What is 600? Another set of black disciples. Where is 600 located? On the south side. Do you know an approximate street address? 59th, 60th, King Drive, Calumet. How close is O Block, 600 to O Block? Down the street, about 2 blocks down, 3 blocks. Have you seen members of 600 hanging out in Parkway Gardens? Yeah. Has anyone indicated to you why members of 600 will hang out in Parkway Gardens? Objection, calls for hearsay. Let me ask you a different question then. Have you ever been to 600 or driven by 600? Yeah. How would you describe the physical layout of it? Apartments. Are they fenced-in apartments or walk-up apartments or something else? Yeah, they walk-up apartments. How about Parkway Gardens? Is it fenced in? Is it open to easy to access? No, it's fenced project. And are there a limit number of access points in Parkway Gardens? Yeah. Objection leading. Overruled. Yeah. Is your yes? What was your answer? Yeah. Okay. You say Lamron was another one. Is that right? Yeah. And what is Lamron? Another set of BDs. Where is Lamron located? 64th and Normal. And what's the significance of the word, if any, normal, as it relates to Lamron? I'm sorry? Where does the name Lamron come from? Basically, that's just normal backwards. Do you know if there are any famous BDs from Lamron? Yeah. People who make music? Yeah. For example, Lil Durk. I'm showing you what's marked as Government Exhibit 550. Have you seen the person depicted in Government Exhibit 550 before? Yeah. Who's that? Lil Durk. Do you know his real name? Durk Banks, I think. Does this picture, Government Exhibit 550, fairly and accurately depict the person you know to be Durk Banks? Yeah. Your Honor, at this time, I move to admit Government Exhibit 550 into evidence. It's submitted. Permission to publish? Yes. Now, did you just tell the jury that Durk is from Lamron? Yeah. He's not from O Block? No. Thank you, Your Honor. Maybe unpublished? Yes. And I don't know that I published Government Exhibits 536 and 537. I'd ask to publish those as well, Your Honor. You may. Have they been admitted? I'm not. At this time, I'll move to admit Government Exhibits 536 and 537 into evidence. They're admitted. So that's 536 and that's 537. Thank you, Judge. May we unpublish? Yes. Have you ever heard of something called THF 46 before? Yeah. What is that? A gang, I don't know, on a low end. You say it's on the low end? Yeah. Do you know about where on the low end? Like 47th and Woodlawn, I think. You said 47th and Woodlawn? Yeah. Do you know what THF stands for? Truly Happy Family. Is O Block clicked up with THF? Yeah. Was that true in 2020 and 2021? Yeah. Before I move away from this, I want to come back to something. We were talking about someone named Durk Banks. Do you know if he has a brother that you're aware of? Yeah. Do you know who his brother is? D-Thing. Did you say D-Thing? Yeah. So now I want to come back to being clicked up. From a practical perspective, what have you seen? Like, what does it mean when O Block, we say, is clicked up with 600, Lamron, and THF? They all ride together. Do you know, so just over the course of you being a member of O Block from 2011 to present, was there some order to O Block clicking up with these other factions? Let me clarify what I mean by that. Was it always the case back in 2011 when you became an O Block member that O Block was clicked up with 600, Lamron, and THF? Yeah, it's always been like that. Okay. Do you know if 600, Lamron, and THF had enemies or ops that were separate from O Block ops? Yeah. What happened to, from your perspective as a member of O Block, what happened to those ops once you clicked up with 600 Lamron and THF. What you mean what happened to them? Would you have had conflict with some of those ops independent or just being clicked up with those other sets? Yeah. You would? Yeah. And why is that? You inherit their war. Okay, so I want to clarify. You said you inherit their war? Yeah. Is that something that happened as a result of being clicked up with those sets? Yeah. So when you say you inherit their war, can you tell us a little bit in your own words? What do you mean by that? You inherit their beef, like whoever they into it with, you are into it with too. So from your perspective as a member of O Block, if you are clicked up with THF, for example, would you be in a conflict with people that THF were in conflict with? Yeah. And would the same be true with respect to 600? Yeah. Would the same be true with respect to Lamron? Yeah. Would it work the opposite way? So you're a member of O Block. Would you have some expectation that THF would be in conflict with STL as a result? Yeah. As a result of being clicked up with a different block or set, do you go over to those places where you've clicked up with? Yeah. Could you go over there? Yeah. Would you be able to go to those places if you weren't clicked up with them? Not more than likely, no. I want to ask you about someone who may be a part of one of these groups that O Block is clicked up with. I'm showing you what's marked as Government Exhibit 7122. Do you see Government Exhibit 7122 in front of you? Yeah. Do you recognize anybody depicted in Government Exhibit 7122? Only one person. Which person is that? On the left? So on the left, would you describe what they're wearing? Or black? Who do you recognize that person to be? Crack. Have you ever heard anybody call him THF Crack? Yeah. How are you familiar with THF Crack? Him being around Parkway? Yeah, he was on house arrest in Parkway a few times. How often would you say you've seen THF Crack in Parkway? At one point, I was seeing him every day. And when was it when you were seeing him every day? So, the year, if you remember. That was 2001. You said 21? 21, 2020, one of those. One of the two. Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I move to admit exactly, I think 712 is already. 7122 is already admitted in evidence. Permission to publish? Yes. Actually, it's not in evidence. Move to admit. Yes, it's admitted. And you may publish. Thank you, Your Honor. So the person on the left in black is who you indicated you recognized as THF Crack? Yeah. Do you know if his gang is clicked up with O Block? Yeah. And which gang is that? THF. Do you know if he began to come over to O Block before or after O Block was clicked up with THF? I'm not sure. As far as you know, O Block has always been clicked up with THF? Yeah. Thank you. Your Honor, we may unpublish. Yes. Who, if anyone, would you say Crack associated with inside of O Block? Shit. Everybody really, as far as I've seen. Did you see or have you seen Crack associated with any particular people or person more than others? No, I'm not sure. No, I wasn't paying attention like that. Okay. Are there other people from THF that you would see hanging out in Parkway? Yeah.